Our good friend Brooks here. Before we even start, have you kept up with your New Year's resolution?
I haven't started it yet.
You haven't started? Well, then it's not a New Year's. It's a February resolution.
I want to run like 3 or 4 5Ks this year. So the first one on the horizon is March. So in theory, I haven't started it yet, but I also haven't started the training for it yet. So as long as I hit my, I'm gonna do 3 5Ks in December.
Okay, it's in March, right? You said
the
first one? Yeah. Well, February's the shortest month, so you better get going.
I'm going to Disney next week too, so that'd be my training, my walking in Disney.
Well, I hope the family's doing all right. Maybe you got to run at Disney.
No.
Run around Disney. No.
Yeah, I mean we will be.
Okay. Get one of those big pickles. I love those things. All right. We brought you in. We do about once a month.
Yeah.
Performance therapy. You work in at the Clinton one. We're talking about ways to prevent falls, which I thought was really interesting. And you proposed this one. Usually I'm like, hey, let's do wrist, knee, whatever's hurting on my body.
Yeah.
But I want you proposed this one. Why propose this?
I mean, I think about it. That's so much of what we're trying to do with our older population is prevent falls. They've had falls, they're getting weak. Just that fall is opening a door that you do not want to open when you get a little bit older in regards to the injuries or just debilitation. Yeah,
sometimes, I mean, we don't want to get too dark here, but sometimes, you know, if you're of older age and you fall, that can sometimes lead to some serious problems and even maybe, you know, exactly. So how do we prevent that? I mean, we're talking about very important stuff, somewhat life or death in some aspects.
Truly. There's good ways to do it. One is just staying strong in general. Strength correlates with balance. You know, I do see some vestibular patients that are having inner ear organ issues.
What does that word mean?
Which one? Vestibular?
Yeah.
So it's the organs that are in our inner ear that tell us where our head is in space, tell us if we're oriented sideways or up. We can have just issues with that over time, whether it be a sickness or whether it be just general decline of that. So that plays a role, obviously, but just our general strength overall plays a role in our strength, in our balance.
So give me something, because we always do something active.
And honestly, I think a lot of these may not be really challenging for you, but I think about who these are geared towards.
Of course.
They're so helpful. So some of the balance exercises, we're going to do the static ones where we're just kind of standing still in here, showing what I do with patients. First, start out just on the foam with your feet close together. Let me show you. And this is what we do in the clinic too. At home, you're doing it on the floor, or you can get a pillow and lay it down to challenge yourself with it. But we're standing on it. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have patients just start out just feet close together because you're narrowing that center of gravity in that stance. So that automatically makes it challenging. They're on the foam, which is giving them a little bit of feedback. I have them do that. If they're stable, I make them close their eyes, and that really gets people a lot of times because we're really relying on our vision for our balance.
Our 5 senses. I mean, right. I mean,
exactly. And you think about when a lot of falls are happening for people, it'll be at night when they can't see as much. So we want to challenge the body when you can't see, you know, and I'm turning the lights off to the clinic. So we go eyes closed, try to balance like that. Go ahead and see what you got there.
Yeah.
That foam will make it a little bit tricky for you, you know. Bring those feet a little bit closer together. Yeah, and just kind of go eyes closed there.
You know what? You've definitely been good at this because I can feel it a little bit. I feel myself personally rocking forward a little bit. And what is that telling me? So what are you trying to do with this, or is this just kind of giving you a balanced strength?
I can kind of see it, but also it's making those ankles have to work too.
Yeah.
And what I'm looking for, not just is how much sway people have, but do they realize that they're swaying and can they correct that? You know, if somebody starts to drift forward and they realize it and they can use their ankles to bring them back. Yeah, no, right. I don't know if I can do that
Unless you're Michael Jackson.
As long as you can realize that your balance is drifting forward and correct it, that's a good sign. What makes people dangerous a lot of times is if they're drifting forward and they have no idea that they're going forward until it's too late or until they have to step out of it.
Yeah, well, that's really interesting because maybe I'm not thinking about that because I'm able to balance.
Yeah.
But there are people out there that if you do this, be careful. You may not even know because your balance is a little bit off.
A lot of times with people as they get older, their reaction times get delayed. So, you know, with us, we feel the forward drift and we correct it immediately. For some of my older patients, they get forward like that and either they have to step and react or their step is too late and they're on the floor, you know.
The stuff you bring in sometimes, it really gets us. All right. I'm going to have you stick around like normal. When we come back with you, what are we talking about then?
I'll show some ways that you can do some balance exercises where you're having to walk at the house, maybe even another one of those, and then I got a little challenge for you.
Okay, good. And you could do that with a pillow.
Yeah, I like getting like a couch cushion. It's pretty comparable to that.
So if you're at home, again, be careful, right?
Do this at the kitchen counter. We're at the sink. The sink is the most stable part of the house, essentially. It's not going anywhere. Don't grab on your grandkid and try to hold on to them while you do it.
Good idea. All right, we'll be right back.
Nice.
Teaching us how to not fall. I know it sounds silly, but it's very important, as we were talking about. It could be the difference between life or death in some roundabout way, or it just is.
It is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, so before we talked about having we had like a squishy block, a pillow that you could do just to kind of get your ankle strong, are you leaning forward?
Yeah.
What are we looking at now? Maybe something a little more active.
Yeah,
too.
I guess a little bit progressing past that. I have some of my patients doing like walk-in balance exercises, which in the clinic we can do it safely. I have a belt on them, I'm holding on to them. At the house, you know, it all depends on how bad your balance is, on whether you can do these safely or not. But where I tell people that I trust to do it at home is in a hallway or somewhere they can just kind of lean and have feedback from the wall just in case they need it.
All right, so let's do it.
So one of the ones I have people doing is just a simple march and walking exercise. You know, getting those knees up. When we're doing that, we're having to stand a little bit more time just on one leg. That single leg stance is a big part of our balance. But also just, you know, get a little bit of movement. Yeah, feel free to do something if you want to. Like I said, it's not going to be too tricky. I could
give a
little feedback if I need to.
All right, so what's that doing?
So, like I said, just having go into that single leg stance where you're having to spend a lot of time standing on one leg. That's one of the balance exercises we have patients do too. At that
It's as simple as just like elementary kind of stuff.
Shows us where that hip is in regards to strength. Shows us where your balance is. You know.
Do people ever have better balance on one leg compared to the other?
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Or is it very,
No, it can vary from what people have going on. You think about my knee replacement patients, that's something that we even practice a little bit too. So
just to try to regain strength.
Try to regain strength in that hip. Another one we do is having to do tightrope walking. I always tell people, imagine you're going down like a 2x12, not necessarily the Walinda tightrope across the Grand Canyon, you know, but having people do that is having to narrow that stance and narrow their center of gravity to challenge them in that way too.
All right. You have a surprise, you said, for me.
I do have a surprise.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and walk off camera for a second.
This is unrelated to balance, but we talked a little bit about it last time with the grip strength. And
oh, boy.
I don't know what I needed to really wager on it, but I will wager that.
Okay.
I think I can beat you. I think there's only one person that's ever got me in the grip strength.
And would I know?
It was a football player.
It was a football?
And it was like a lineman that had pretty good grip.
Okay, so you have really good grip strength. That's something that's a quality
I go home
of yours.
and practice every night, you know.
I guess so. Okay, so hold on. Before we do this, can we pull up camera 3 real quick? All right, so I'm gonna walk this up.
Yep.
Here you go. So shows us, see that thing go?
Yep.
Oh, I like that.
Now,
boom. Okay.
The true test here, let me get it centered up for you. I want you can rest your other hand under there, but the elbow's bent and you're just giving it a good squeeze one time. You know, that bar is gonna kind of rise up there. But I'll make sure I verbalize what you got on there.
Okay.
Right or left? If I can beat it. Whatever you feel, probably your right hand if you're done it. So, yep. Good job. 40, I like checking in kilograms, 45 kilograms.
45?
Not so bad. I mean, I can go there just like that if you want me to. But let's see if you can get.
What did you do?
90.
90. So wait, so does that mean your grip strength is twice as much?
Remember we talked about mortality last time with the grip strength.
Okay, Brooks, you're gonna last a little bit longer than me, apparently.
Maybe.
All right, let me try my left.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, bear down on it now. There you go. Try the right one again. I think you got more in the tank because that was near 60.
Yeah, but see, I'm still frustrated that you're beating me. Okay, you're definitely cheating.
Let's not do a squat challenge now. I'm not going to get you. This is my one talent. I think you got more in the tank. I mean, get it. Now, don't think about using that left hand. Yeah, still 50. I don't know what's going on.
No, my left is stronger.
Are you left-handed?
No, but it's just for whatever reason. Yeah, it's about 50. Huh. That's really interesting.
Something to think about.
Does it change depending on how big your hand size is? Because I don't have very big. I'm guessing you have. Okay, guys. Yeah, that's also a problem I've run it into. All right, so we got about a minute left. I know that was kind of cute and fun. All right, last thing with the preventing the falls. Let's recap real quick as quickly as you can.
Yeah. So strength is a big indicator on where you stand with your balance. Strength is kind of everything in regards to your stability, your reaction time, how well your ankles can work or your hips can work to keep you upright. But we want to find ways to challenge you and work those inner ear organs just like we would a muscle. We have to train them and make them, stress out to the point where it builds your balance up, because falls are, not ideal.
And the importance of this because of health reasons? For
health reasons. You think about that elderly grandmother may be doing good. One fall and a hip fracture and a stay in assisted living skilled nursing could be cause a major decline.